Straw and coffee, no doubt. John Coltrane. Are you surprised? Cheers to you with my lipstick on my straw. Okay. Hi guys, it's Denise Cooper and this is Booktube Live. This is Art Books Live. This is Denise Cooper. This is Art Books Live. This is... Okay. Seriously, I'm gonna have fun tonight. I'm actually gonna do the rest of the bookshelf tour and turn down Johnny and all that good stuff. But welcome. Hi everyone. You gotta hear that by yourself, like without me talking. So let's do it again. Don't you just wish you could play like that just once? I'd be good. Anyway, this is Denise Cooper. This is Booktube Live, Art Books Live, and I'm your co-host. These are the hosts. Anyway, let me turn off Johnny before I still get really silly. I've listened to this already today. I really don't need it right now. I just want it. It's something that is needed. So anyway, this is Booktube Live. This is the Blackout Baby. It's the Blackout Baby. It's the Blackout Baby saying, oh, what? It is the Blackout, where I read nothing but or only all inclusive African-American writers for the whole year of 2018. And we're gonna look at the rest of the books. Actually, I think I looked at the video. I was like, hold on. I think I know. We did this shelf. We did the bottom shelf here. We also did the second shelf. And we've worked ourselves up here. Now, it's not that if you are new to this channel, maybe you haven't seen the books that are on my shelf. If you have watched this channel for quite some time, then you pretty much know almost everything on here and watch the book hauls and the TBRs and the constant reshowing of everything all the time. But welcome back to it. And for those of you who are new, thank you so much for joining in. And I've appreciated all your input. And we're going to talk about some books. And I also have a bag of books. So hi, 6 people. How are you? I'm sorry. I was just waiting on Kia, Danae, and KT and Toddy. I was expecting 2 or 3. That's it. So thank you so much for being here, especially since I went on live today. Hi. Good evening, Kia Danae. Hi, KT. Hello, the moderator. Hi, S. Lou. You know what? Thank you so much for coming back. That's all I'm gonna say. I missed you. I think I've seen you here a while ago, and then I see your name, and then I haven't seen you. So where you been? You been out there drinking and partying and having a good time and enjoying your life? No, I'm just joking. But seriously, welcome back. And hi, Terry Beth. Hi, y'all. Terry Beth says, hi, y'all. Hi, all. I just gave you another accent. Anyway, it's hi, all. Excuse me. Anyway, welcome to my shenanigans. And there are 7 people here in the house, in the building. I'm appreciating that. I really do. I'm actually watching to make sure. Yeah, I got a little lag. It's always lag. I don't know why. Sometimes it's like really crisp and clear, and sometimes it's not. Maybe everybody in the world on my side of the wonderful side of Texas are all online. I don't know. And I've got a yellow stream, so you guys let me know if you can hear me and also if you can see, because I got all kind of light. And you might hear a little bit of noise because it's Saturday night and there are a lot of neighbors out. I don't know what's going on, but maybe everybody's just having a time. You know what I know what it is? The weather. I literally went out like this today. I went to the library. I had my sweater on, then I was like, I don't even need a sweater. It was like the perfect spring day. There were kids playing basketball, and I think the kid that was playing basketball earlier literally just stopped about 15 minutes ago. So I was like, I don't want to talk him up, or her, or whoever was playing basketball. But anyway, I got a bag. I got a bag. I have a bag because I, again, don't have any restraint. I don't have any, yeah. Free stuff from the library. It's the best place in the world when you kind of just don't want to go anywhere, but you kind of want to go somewhere and get something, but you don't want to spend your money. It's like the best. Who invented this thing? You know what? I want to know. I think I remember a long time ago looking up the concept of a library, and I remember years ago too, like maybe 15 years. I remember it was in Florida. where I was looking online and there was overseas, I think it was in Japan or somewhere, don't quote me, it could have been China, it could have been Mozambique, I don't know, but I just know that there was this library that was all digital. And I was like, what? No. I mean, I like digital. I mean, we're on digital stuff. Yeah, I understand. I know. But I couldn't imagine. I mean, it was like so crystal clean and clear. My air conditioner is going to come on. That's how warm it is in Texas right now. So sorry, the people that are still in the snow and sleet and rain and all that stuff. We had a beautiful day. And so it's t-shirt weather again and air conditioning weather. I was like, we just have the heat on, you know? And I came around, I looked at the thing and it was 80 degrees in here. I was like, no wonder we're sweating. I turned on the air conditioner so it can keep us cool. And you just heard it kick on. So if you didn't, that was my air conditioner. And I'm not going crazy. So anyway, we've done all these books here. So hopefully they're all in shot. Most of them are, at least. And then I got the books that I'm going to go through. But we are on the third week, you guys. I'm doing a book a week. If you are new, I'm doing a book a week and a painting a week. Am I done with both books for this week, this third week? Where's my book? It's right here. I knew I had it because I was just reading it before I went on because I wanted to get some more pages in, and I just updated my Goodreads. Oh, this is good. And it reads really quick. It reads almost like a TV show, like right in front of your eyes kind of a thing. And I've just been engrossed in it, but I did put it down for a couple of days because I am doing the painting a week. So I remember 2 days this week I did not read from this book. So today I got a lot of reading done. I think I started today about 160 something, and now I'm on 220. And it goes to 309 pages. So I'll be done with this. This is all I got left, you guys. This is it. And this is Gwen Richardson's The Genesis Files. If you follow me on social media, I've posted this picture on Instagram, which I'm totally retardedly hooked on, and I need to stop. And that's why I'm going to take a break next year with the internet. We just have to break up for a minute. And anyway, I'm reading this and I'm enjoying it. I'm so glad. She is the co-founder of the National Black Book Festival down in Houston, Texas. And I have their website up tonight so that and you can of course bring it up as well whenever you choose to or have time, and I'll link it below again. And just going to go through and see who's going to be there. This lady is going to be there. And I'm also listening currently for the third week. I'm listening to this. The Ancestors with dannnnnggg and Brandon Massey and L.A. Banks. I finished the L.A. Banks, and so this is Tana Reid Blood Colony. I actually went to the library today, and I did get a book of hers. I was actually looking for the beginning, because this Blood Colony, I believe, is in a series, and so I don't want to read that one yet. It's on my shelf to read this year, so I kind of want to start with the first one, and then get myself caught up to the one I own. So, with all that said, I'm going to go through these books, but before I do all that, now, I just showed you my third week reads. This is what I'm currently listening to and also physically reading. And my painting is exactly where I left it on Goodreads. I mean, not Goodreads, on Instagram. So tonight, I only have that one eye to do. I don't know why. I just keep staring at it. I'm going, okay, I can finish that in like 10 minutes or so, not even 10 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. Let me give myself a little bit more time. But I just have to do this one eye, and there's something else that's going to come out of her head that I want to complete. And so hopefully I will get that done tonight, because last Saturday I stayed up until like 3 o'clock in the morning, painting and dancing and listening to Rihanna and not my phone. Let me turn this down completely. And no, I don't want to turn it off. I just want to turn it down. Hi, KT. And I just got you. You are the one that I got the message from. It's either late. It's a Twitter message. So every time she tweets or likes something, I get a message. So hi, KT. And so these are the third week reads. And tonight I'll be listening to this, and I should finish because you hear the kids screaming out there. I'm telling you, it's like perfect weather out there. So I don't blame them for still being outside. You hear that? God. Anyway, I'm on disc number 6, and there's only 7, 8, and 9 left. This one's an empty one. So I got 3 more discs, and because the one I'm listening to, I'm almost done with it. And I'm enjoying it. I'm on the Brandon Massey story. So it's really good. Like, it's good because he's like in the car with his woman and they're going home, and there's all this element of family coming together, and this, you know, some it's good and good. But anyway, so those are my reads right now. But as you guys know, last week, which was the second week, this was my read. If you are following along, this is the second week, and I did want to read from this, and I'm going to do it right now before I forget it, before I get off topic and don't get a chance to do that. So check it out. This is James Baldwin. I just love it. I'd probably read this again sometime in my life. Okay, this part right here is just worthy of. I read it like 3 or 4 times. It says life is tragic, simply because the earth turns and the sun inexorably rises and sets, and one day for each of us, the sun will go down for the last time. Perhaps the whole root of our problem, or our trouble, the human trouble, is that we will sacrifice all the beauty of our lives, will imprison ourselves in totems, taboos, crosses, blood sacrifices, steeples, mosques, races, armies, flags, nations, in order to deny the fact of death, which is the only fact we have. It seems to me that one ought to rejoice in the fact of death, ought to decide, indeed, to earn one's death by confronting with passion the conundrum of life. And it goes on. And I just love that. And so there are certain things that you just take away with you in a book that are just going to become a part of you. And I think that's always going to be a part of me. And I've read it several times. And that book, again, is very short. And I know Comfy Cozy Up is reading it this month. This book is actually 106 pages. This is a day read if you want to just get something short and just spend a day with James Baldwin. I took a whole week because I was looking him up, as I've always done, but I kind of wanted to watch him talk, and I did. And then I also reread some of these passages in this book. So I really enjoyed it. And I painted a lot. So, and that was that. So, as you guys know, I told you maybe last year, when I finish the books, I'm going to turn them this side so that you'll be able to see that. So the J. California Cooper book that I read in the first week is right here. And yes, my bookshelf is growing. So hopefully I can reach all these books tonight and they don't fall on my head. But anyway, these have grown. Ooh, there's 4 that I pulled out my bedroom. So I'm going to stick those right there. We'll go through those. But I'm going to put him here because this is my February TBR. Has my February TBR changed, as the title says? Not February. I'm doing so good with my TBR this month because I'm actually in the mood for all of these books. So there's gonna be some moving around, but I'm so in the mood for the ones that I set up for myself to read in January this month, that I am not wavering. The only thing that is added are the audiobooks, and that's where I'm getting the freedom to read any audiobook because it's not on a part of my Goodreads. So I'm counting them suckers, but I'm just saying it's not a part of my TBR. So these 2 I read, and then this one tonight, after I finish it, will go up. And then next week is God's Country by Percival Everett. So we're going to go this way, okay? And then this will finish up our bookshelf tour. So these are the 3 I read, as you guys know. And this is next. And then I don't want to, let me put that down. So I don't want to make sure that I look at you guys and do this too, and so you can see what I'm doing and saying. But this is my TBR. God's Country is next week. This will be my final read for January. And those of you who are reading it, Columbus Moore, hello. He really wanted to buddy read that one, so I hope he's enjoying it. I will be reading it the last 4 days of next week. And then, oops, did I get this out? Oh, yeah, I did get it out of order. Hold on, January. Oh, that's it. That is January. So I'm done with January. That's the last book. I just said that. This is my TBR for February. If you have not seen it, because this is part of the bookshelf tour, I got to go over it. Toni Morrison with Read So Lit with Dee Dee over at Brown Girl Reading. And I'll put that there. And then my independent writer is Mr. A.J. Houston, poet, Walking in My Father's Shoes. And it's volume... he's got so many, volume 2, and I think he said he's up to volume 10 or something, 8, don't quote me. And then Malcolm X by his daughter Elise Shabazz, and also Keela Magoon. So it's a beautiful cover, and I'm going to show that again. But this is my February. And Gail Jones, Corregidora. Corregidora. There you go. And that's Gail Jones. And I loved Eva's Man so much that I had to put her on my February. So this is what my February is looking like, and any audiobook that I want to listen to. So let me put this one back up here, like so, and put my J. California Cooper and James Baldwin, turn them around. And this one is what I'm currently reading. So I'm going to set those on the table. And that's the first part of this. But I'm going to see what you guys are saying. So if you have a TBR, are you sticking to it? Are you enjoying it? Are you a moody reader like I am? Or are you so happy to be reading certain things this month? Just sometimes a TBR is good. Sometimes it's just I'm all over the place. So do you have a TBR? And if you are you following it? Is it fun? Mine is really fun right now. So anyway, I am going to speak to everybody that is here. Hi, Comfy Cozy Up. Hello, she says. And hello, Keisha Forsaken. How are you? And also, Venitra's Book Club with Venitra, you are just gorgeous. Venitra, if you guys do not know who Venitra's book club is, I didn't know who she was until Instagram, because like I told y'all, I am so obsessed. It's just something quick and it's beautiful. And just look at people's pictures and books and families and everything like that. Some of the people I follow are my family. And of course, my Booktube friends and all the Instagram pics of just everything, just beautiful photography, everything, art, what have you. So I found her by way of, I thought every time she had a picture up, and she's just like gorgeous, and I thought, oh man, she's probably got a hair care channel. Her hair is just laid, it's just gorgeous, and it's, you know, natural. So, and I went to her YouTube channel, and she's got a Booktube channel. So if you have not followed her on Instagram, please follow her, and also subscribe and like her videos on YouTube. She's just getting started. I think the last time I checked, you had 2 videos, and then you just posted, I think, something on Instagram today about a new video. So I got to go and watch that. So welcome again. It's so nice to see you. And like I can really see you, but you know what I'm saying. And then KT says, I loaned out Corregidora. That is always going to stump me, and haven't gotten it back yet. I have the X book also. Oops, somebody just said something that moved yours. Also, but have not read it. I'm listening to Tar Baby already. And you know I got that on audio, and I can't wait. That's next month. I'm going to hold off because I have read the physical book 2 years ago, like I said, but I can't wait to listen to it because it's read by Toni Morrison. And haven't gotten back yet on the Tar Baby already, but I'm having a hard time. May need to do the book also. The physical book is the bomb.com to me. I love Tar Baby. I do. I remember I made a video about it a long time ago. I'm not going to rehash it, but I really enjoyed that book. So Keisha Forsaken, she took away her message. Okay. Bernie M says, so far I'm sticking to my TBR, but again, it's only January. Exactly. And so, but my February is looking pretty good. I think it's so solid that I'm going to keep going because that audiobook and the painting, it gives me that wiggle room. So I am really so proud of myself. And these are the books I own. And okay, the library checkouts that I got in the bag, and we will go over those. And then, so I'm doing good and bad. No, I don't think it's bad. It's just, this is the way I do. And so I can't count it as bad at all. And so Terry Beth says, no TBR, I just jump around as my mood goes. Isn't that fun? Isn't it? Because you have to do that sometime. And so hi, Terry Beth, first of all. And I don't know, I really like that because especially, you know what throws me more off my TBR than anything? Nonfiction. Because when I get into a good nonfiction, I want to read another. It's almost like I don't have time for the, you know, the little stories that aren't so well put together, or maybe they are well put together, but because I just came off some real stuff, I ain't here for the, you know what? So seriously, I think that's what happens to me. I've said this in a video before, but I truly know that's what happens. But no matter what it is, whether I'm mad at a book or it's difficult read and it becomes this amazing book for me, or I've read a nonfiction and then I don't like some really popular book, I actually love all of that. Even though I didn't like Exit West, I think I may revisit that book because I remember reading The Wanderers, or and it was a true story about, oh my gosh, about the child soldiers that, and yeah, it was a lot. And I had come off of a couple, and then the Frantz Fanon, and so right around that time, there was no time in my head for anything playful. And then I'm in such a playful mood. Sometimes I'll just read one entertaining book after another, and nonfiction is just not going to cut it. So in that respect, I am not hard on myself anymore for that. I just know that I actually like those reading flows when it just goes up and down for me. And I'm not gonna lie, like Donna Tartt, for instance, or what's her name? Oh God, that lady that I kept getting her books. Joyce Carol Oates. Okay, some like difficult, like why are you still writing? But then I loved it because you took me through this hell, kind of a thing. And nonfiction does that to me, and I love that. So I can't wait to get into Michael Eric Dyson, which we've already shown. So let me move on and talk to everyone. Hello, if you are just now joining in. Hi, 11 people. We are talking about the African American writers for this year that I am reading. It is the Blackout, where I read nothing but African American books, or all African, I don't know why I say nothing, but all African American writers, because my, whatever, my grammar not so good. Anyway, Venitra's book club says, you are too kind. I love your channel. And I was just sharing it with my mom today. With your mom? She shared me with her mama. Anyway, you shared me with your mom. That's typical me. I lost my mind. She didn't share me with her mama. Your mama probably my age because I know you're really young. Hi, mom. How are you? Venitra's mom. Sipping some black coffee, no cream, just sugar. Yeah. Coffee will make you black. It's right there. It's right there. We're gonna get to it. So anyway, I'm so happy that you shared me with your mom. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. That's nice. That's nice. You know how important mothers are to us. And I have a poem that I'm supposed to do next month about mothers, and I have yet to write it. It's all in here. I have yet to write it down. I know what I want to say and I know what I want to do, but I'm just saying. And I have to do that. I actually have to make myself, like, I don't know what it is. I like to get myself down to the wire where I just like to go, I need to have this done, like I'm doing with the painting. I could have the painting done the day I stopped. But no, I want to stay up until midnight or past midnight, 3 o'clock in the morning, finishing a painting before the sun comes up. That's just me. But hi, Venitra's mom. Thank you so much for sharing the videos. And I am going to talk to Keisha for a second. I have a loose TBR in my mind, but haven't been reading much except fan fiction. Also binged watched the How to Get Away with Murder, so that probably didn't help much. Keisha. Okay, so I got off of work yesterday, Friday, because I don't have regular TV, so I watched it on Hulu. So I watched Scandal. Scandal was so good, the last show before the new show came on, that I rewatched the last show because Olivia don't lost her ever loving mind, and so I watched it. And I'm sorry, but Papa Pope he's just a great actor. I know they're all crazy. I know they're all murderers. I know this. Even the president and Millie, all of them, they're just crazy. But Joe Morgan is so fantastic as Papa Pope that I am there for him. I am there for Huck. I can't wait till Huck will kill Olivia. No, anyway, but I had to watch that. And then I saved How to Get Away with Murder to the last show before I'm like, I'm done. I can't watch no more TV. These fools are crazy. But Frank, Keisha for a second. Frank. When Frank becomes Frank, as you know what I'm talking about, I get all giddy inside. I do. I don't care. Y'all can judge me. If you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. And when Frank gets bad, it is so good for Denise. I don't know. It just does something to me. And that's all I'm going to talk about there. Thanks, Keisha. And anyway, my library, she says, has a Tar Baby on audio. So that's how I'll be reading it next month. And I showed that with my last audio haul. And I actually like that cover. I remember showing it to you guys. And it's got this just greens, like a beautiful spruce tree or something on it, and it's just gorgeous. But I'll be listening to that and reading it because I'll be taking it to work and on my little walks and breaks. And so going up under that, I'm still scrolling down, still reading messages, and then I'm gonna get to the books, you guys. So if you come here because you saw a bookshelf tour in the title and TBR, that seems to bring you in. So now I'm just sucking you in with all that. Anyway, no, but seriously, that's what we're doing. So Keisha for a second said, or Vernitra's book club says, girl, my hair looks the same. Afro puff 99.99999% of the time, but it's beautiful. It's like, and it shows your face off, and yeah, girl, you could model. And so maybe this booktube fun will inspire me to switch it up here and there. Even if it doesn't, it's gorgeous. It shows, it just says so much. It's very classy. I kind of like seeing Olivia go Papa Pope. Yeah, yeah. Olivia done lost her mind though. The thing is, she should know her crazy. She should know Charlie's crazy. She should know. She should know. And I know that this is the last season for Scandal, so I'm thinking they're gonna get her. She better, I'm hoping, and my hope is that that's not Quinn that's dead. Because remember the whole hair clip, I don't even know if she had a hair clip. I don't know. But I just don't think that's Quinn, because that's the only thing that's going to save Olivia from getting Huck and Charlie all up in her tail. That's all I'm saying. High five. Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder are supposed to cross over. I can't wait. I thought it was actually going to happen this week. And it did. And I was like, okay, so y'all just stringing us along with all this Instagram and Twitter posting, and one of them in the courthouse, one of them at the office. I'm just like, come on now. Oh my God, I love Frank and his frankness. Yes. And do you not miss Frank and the tie and the suit and the hair and the I'm sorry. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead on with the books, people. Okay, let me keep scrolling down. I think that was the last comment. So now I have to do some work on the Booktube channel. Thanks for talking to me, Keisha. I'll be back. Anyway, so we left off here. And this is where we are with the bookshelf tour. So I'm gonna go up here and then this will be in the end of it, and then we have the bag of books. And I was going to read some synopsis because I have a whole hour, but it's 27 minutes, and we've been talking about Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder and Venetra's beautiful self and her hair. And oh, my favorite, let me just, because I've been really watching kind of all over the place because I have been reading a lot and staying on schedule with the reading and painting. So I have been trying to keep up with videos per KT, because when, like I said, I just get her Twitter feeds and messages if she likes something. So I go and I watch. And so I watched Lisa and from Liking Books, and I really enjoyed her video. It was pure honesty, and it was talking about getting, basically not scheduling a TBR and so forth and so on, and all the reading challenges and just some things that maybe she's going through. And that's why it's I don't see why anybody would get mad at anybody or in Booktube and say, Booktube is doing this and Booktube is doing that, because we're human. And sometimes we want a TBR, sometimes we don't. Sometimes life happens, sometimes it don't. Life happened to me last Sunday, and I was not trying to go live. And so, I can just beg and go, oh, guys, forgive me, but really ain't nobody paying me to do this. I come here to connect with you, and you guys are connecting with me when you can. So I'm not expecting everybody to be here all the time because life happens. And so I really enjoyed her video. That was my favorite video of the week that I've watched, and there's a lot of videos out there. So, and I... You know what, Musical Toddy, what was it called, Fuzzy Reads or something? She said a quote in there, something about the spit in the bucket. I was like, I just fell out laughing. And I was like, I'm going to have to use that. Just go watch Musical Toddy's most recent, I think, 3 videos. And it was funny. And I really enjoyed it. So I've been enjoying everybody's videos, but I just kind of wanted to just, talk about Booktube, because remember I was doing Booktube on Booktube, and I haven't done that in a while. Now this is the next one, and I was actually wanting to show this because remember we're doing only African American, and actually let me go ahead and get this one, Natalie Brazil, because I wasn't, when you see somebody's name and for those of us who have names like Cooper and Johnson and Smith, and even though those are not our names and we need new names, Bazille may not be a common name for an African American where you think, yeah, she was born in New York, or she was born in Kansas, or she was born whatever. So I looked up Miss Bazille, which, by the way, I love the show. I saw the first season. Again, I don't have regular TV, so I watch it on Hulu. Hulu has still not put the second season up. I don't know if it's because it's still going on or what have you. But I love Queen Sugar so much on television. I bought the book, and I bought this, and it was always in my head because Dominique does great reviews. She probably does the best reviews ever, but the Storyscape. And she read this, and this was a long time ago when she read it, and finally I have it, and I bought this last year, and I watched the show, and it is amazing. I love the Borderlones, and I actually I went back to season 1, which is the only season I have. I went back to the first episode again, and I watched a few of them, and Ralph Angel. America, you're welcome. So anyway, basically I looked up Natalie's Bazille. I'm sure I'm not saying that right, but she's has a master's degree in Afro-American Studies from the University of California. This is on the internet by way of Google and Wikipedia, and anybody can read it. University of California, Los Angeles, and an MFA from the Warren Wilson Program for writers, where she has a Holden Minority Scholar. Queen Sugar has been made into a dramatic television series produced for OWN by Warner, blah, 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 and Oprah and the amazing Ava. So when I looked her up, I'm thinking, okay, well, where is she from? And she's actually born in California. So when it said that, I can read her this year. Even though I'm very aware with the series, I'm really excited to read the book this year and see how that plays out. So yes, I can read her for the Blackout. She's African American, born in California. And so that's basically what I would be doing to each one of these books that I'm not familiar with the authors. And again, because of the last name, because I'm being honest and 100%, you know how it is here in America. We know where we got our last names for. So Tony K. Bambara. So those of you who know, this is not like I'm presenting some new book to you, but I got this suggestion because I think of, it was either Camille and Dee Dee. For some reason, the two people, yeah, because this is exactly what it was. These two books, because they mentioned these two books, I believe, years ago, and I went and bought them because I remember those two. And this is Series Blooms at Night, Shani Mutu, and I don't think I can read, but this is how I'm going to find out. I just Google them, basically. So because it's part of the bookshelf tour, let me look up one of them. Shani Mutu, SHANIMOOTOO. Yep. I can type. I got a memory. I just proved it. I don't remember everything. Okay, Shani Mutu. No, I cannot read her. She's not African American. She was born in Dublin, Republic of Ireland. She's Irish. So thanks, Camille and Dee Dee, for this beautiful cover book, but I will not be reading it for the Blackout. I'll be holding that off for next year when I read Cross the Water. Yeah. See how I'm learning what's on my shelf. And then this one here, this is the last one I'm going to look up because I think everything else I've looked up. Tony K. Bambara, and you guys may know, but for the sake of my video, I'm going to look it up. I could have done this earlier, you say, but I didn't. I kind of wanted to do it here. Because when somebody asked me, can I read this for the Blackout? I don't know. Let's look it up together. Tony K. Bambara. Oh, wow, that's a beautiful name. Born, okay, I can't pronounce the first name. Miltona Merkin Cade was an African American. Oh, rest in peace. Is that what we're saying here? Yep. Died December the 9th, 1995 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Born March 25th, 1939. Harlem, New York City, New York. Going back on the shelf. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Okay, rest in peace. She's got afro, and now she has locks, or then she went to locks. So yay, I can read that. So those are two. And I'm not going to take that long on the rest of the bookshelf tour. I just wanted to know. So now I do. 2 can stay, 1 had to go. And then I know these, I think I've showed you guys these before several times. This is Two Cities. This is the only one that I've read by John Edgar Wideman, and I found out about him from one of my favorite rappers, Mos Def. Remember Mos Def doing the hosting for Def Poetry Jam? You young people may not remember, but we did have a thing called that. And it's called Two Cities, and it's about a younger woman and an older man, and the two cities kind of representing who they were, not just the cities that they lived, the city that they lived in. And I really enjoyed it. And I had to get this one by John Edgar Wideman, and he follows me on Instagram, and I got to speak to him just by way of Instagram, and it was really cool. John Edgar Wideman sent for you yesterday. How urgent is that? The title alone, and then the cover being that it's a Romare Burden, I believe. I can't say the last name. Bearden. I'm sorry, Romare Bearden. Piece of artwork. So, sent for you yesterday. I love the title. I love the cover. This is probably one of my favorite colors, and I love green. It's a color that browns me sometimes. So anyway, that's 2. And then these are all for the sake of recommendations. When people are asking me for short reads, this is what, these are short, powerful, which you guys know I like to call them heavy light. I have a painting called Heavy Light. One of my favorite poets has a book coming out called Heavy Light, Natasha Karazosa. I can't wait till it comes out. I can't wait to get it and show you guys. And she's amazing. So this is August Wilson, Two Trains Running. I read it, and I went to see the play here in Fort Worth, Texas when it was here. Fences, I read it. You guys know that Denzel Washington is making movies of Mr. August Wilson's books. But my favorite is with the James Earl. Yes. So that performance, Denzel's was great, or good. James Earl's is great. And you can just see the intensity, and it gave it a different flavor from both. And they're both great, but I'm just saying. I'm old school, maybe. I don't know. It was the first time I saw it, so that's what sticks in my head. The Piano Lesson. I actually read this one when I was taking some college courses, and we watched the play. And it was a full play that she pulled up on YouTube. And back then, I wasn't watching YouTube like that. I didn't even know it had hour-long, videos or anything. But those are the 3 August Wilsons. I will not be reading them this year. Those were just recommendations specifically for people who have been asking me in my DM. As I've learned as an old lady, that means direct messages or something like that. And my sister, because she's getting back into reading. She owns a lot of books, but she's getting back into reading. So Sabrina, these 3 recommendations are for you. It's August Wilson, and they're plays. And if you don't want to read a play, and you think that, I don't want to read this scene set up and that scene set up, try them. You guys, if you've never read a play and you don't think you're going to like it, I think you will like August Wilson plays. I'm just saying. So I'm going to put those back on my regular shelf. And these are some independent writers that I met in Houston, Texas, 2015 at the National Black Book Festival, and they gave these books to me free. And I read one of them, and I liked it. And the spiritual books, they're self-help books, and they're good, at least the one I read. And I really enjoyed talking to those ladies. I think I've shown these several times on my channel when I first got the books. So this one is called Tithing, the Holy Seed. And she has the most beautiful accent. I remember talking to her, Pauline Scholes, Schloss, sorry. But anyway, and she was so sweet, and I had her introduce herself on the videos, and oops, put them back over here, and she was like really shy. And she's like, oh no, let me do it again. But she was so sweet. And then yes, that's this lady's actual naked body, and she's 40 disciplines of a wise woman, like your womb, and awakening the intimate and forgotten powers of your womanhood. And it's written by Chastity Thomason, and she's a gorgeous lady. And all that hair she has, she cut it all off, and she's got this she's sporting this cute little curly hairstyle now. Just gorgeous. Anyway, and then my number 1 is still my number 1, and this is very spiritual. And I read some of this, and I really liked it. The one that I read was the Tithing book, and I like her. She was just so sweet. I started with her book. They were really nice to talk to. I'm serious. This one is by Bernice Bright Dickey, and I think she's the lady that had a whole bunch of books. And so did Miss Scholes, she had several books too. But for the sake of timing, I'm going to put them back. But those are 3 independent writers, and I will link their names when I get to linking the names. Definitely when I read them. So let me go ahead and put these down before I have stuff collapsing on my lamp and everything else. So hopefully you guys are chatting amongst yourself and enjoying it. This man has a new book in it. I almost got it at the library today, but I got too many physical books right now that I need to read. But I did get 2 physical books in my bag. But this is The Good Lord Bird, and this is James McBride. It is, yes, beautiful. I don't have a dust cover. So that is on my top shelf. Then we'll go fast. You've seen this, Donna Hill. And this is, okay. What mothers never told me. What mother never told me, basically. Donna Hill. James Baldwin, Just Above My Head. Octavia Butler, Adulthood Rights. Octavia Butler, Wild Seed. Yeah, we're just blazing through these. And then Upstate by Kalisha Buchanan and Mo Better Blues by the wonderful, Roots Quote, and it's Questlove Thompson. Okay, Amir. And let me put these over here. And then the last few on top, and then we get to go to the other shelf. And this is Frederick Douglass, and this is My Bondage and My Freedom, which I had to steal back from my son's house. Yeah, my daughter-in-law. They didn't read it. And then this is I Initiate. This is the one that the author gave me. It's an independent writer, John Darrell. I know it's John. Yeah, John Darrell Winston. I'm familiar. Anyway, I follow him on Twitter, and he's got all 3 of the trilogy out, you guys, all 3 of them. And so I want to purchase the other 2 because he was kind enough to give me these, and I really enjoyed this. I read this 2 years ago when he gave it to me, and I don't think I just talked about it lightly, but I really like it. It's I don't want to talk about the whole thing, but it's good. It's sci-fi. It's young sci-fi. It's like YA sci-fi. But when I read it, I just actually enjoyed it. And so, and maybe it was because if you follow him and read his Twitter messages, he's a very positive man. And it's a young adult with African-American characters, and I love it. So I Initiate. I know Joe, the retired book nerd, talks to him, and she's read it. Another independent writer that I bought last year, Adolphus Ward, Harvest the Dust. And the last on the top shelf, Emperor of Ocean Park by Stephen L. Carter. This got a lot of acclaim when it first came out. And I have another one that I showed you guys that is down on the bottom shelf somewhere. Anyway, that's the top shelf. And let's put these back because y'all ain't gonna have me doing this later. You're gonna, muck through this right along with me. About that. Anyway, I'm gonna see what you guys are doing before I go to this shelf and also check the time because I might be running out of time. Because you guys know I got a painting to do tonight. Oh. I've already talked about this today, so I feel like I'm rehashing. But Remember Me is a good story by Cheryl Robinson, and she actually was in the chat room last weekend, and she's been watching the videos, and I got 2 of her audiobooks, and she sent me that beautiful book with X-Ray, and it's a trilogy, and I downloaded the first one on my Kindle app on my phone. It was free, and then she sent me a free book, so I want to purchase the 3rd one and read those this year, and I'll tell you guys about them. And hopefully I'll do a short wrap-up at the end of this month so I can do some mini reviews. But this is what I read, or finished, this week. Yeah, that's the finished one. Yeah, I think I've already showed y'all that, because I do have another channel, and I think I showed you guys. Anyway, the Carter... That's the one. That's where I was missing. Okay, so this is next week, and then God's Country is the last little bit. There we go. Put it in its proper place, Denise. That's what my TBR is. All right, so that's it. Very quickly. I was going to check on you guys first, because that's what I need to do. And I'm going to take a drink, and I'm going to play some Johnny. And I'm going to look at your messages, and hopefully you're still here. And we have 14 people watching. Hi, you guys. Hope you're enjoying those quick pictures of the books that just ran across the screen. I'm going to turn Johnny down just a little bit. Yes, there's lots of light in here. Okay, so now, I think I got my fix. Sip. want a t-shirt, it's on Etsy. I told you guys all about it. Yours won't have Denise on it. Just say Art Books Live if you want to. I mean, you love art, you love books, you love to live your life live and in color. Go ahead and do it. Get the t-shirt. And it's supporting Black-owned business, and I love that. And you don't have to be Black to support a Black-owned business. Anyway. Okay, stop. Okay, so now I'm going to check on the messages. Good evening, says S. Lou. That's where I left off, Terry Beth. And S. Lou, and Bernie M, and KT, and Comfy Cozy Up, and KT, and Keisha Forsaken. And let me scroll down. And hopefully I don't do it really fast like I've been doing and missing things. And Pretty Brown-Eyed Reader. Hi, Pretty Brown-Eyed Reader. Hi, Alicia. Hi, everyone, she says. Hi. I'll be reading Tar Baby in February also, says Benitra. I loaned out Core Digital. Okay, that's where, okay, I missed that, and then I caught up then. Bernie says, so far I'm sticking to my TBR, and I read all that, so let me scroll down. 99.9999%, and let me keep scrolling. I own Octavia Butler on my Kindle, but have never read anything by her yet, so I'm hoping to get one, to that this year. I think she's right up some of the books that you like to read. When I watch your channel, I think you would love Kindred. Because I love Kendra, so I guess I just, you know, throwing that out there. But I think, because that's my favorite Octavia Butler book. And Parable of the Talents and Parable of the Sower, I read both of those. And the protagonist is just too smart. She's young, but she's like so smart that I'm like, it's because, number one, Octavia Butler is probably a genius, and she just can't dumb down her character. And the girl is just powerful and strong. And the things that she's doing to survive, and her wisdom is just guiding her through this story. But she's so young, and I kept going, come on, either I was just dumb at that age, because I'm telling you, the girl, she's so smart. And the first one that I read, I really liked it. And then the second one, I was like, she's just too smart. She's just too smart. Or maybe I was just having an airhead moment, and I was like, okay, whatever. But I really enjoyed them. And she's a strong character to be so young. Octavia Butler, man. Yeah, I think you're going to enjoy her, Keisha. I really do. And let me go up. Keisha, after Keisha's message, there's a MMGBTV. Hello, I appreciated your New Year's message. Thank you. Did I give a message, or are you talking to somebody else? Because, you know, I could take credit. Because, you know, I'm doing the live show. So if you're talking about somebody else in there, I'm going to simply take credit and act like you was just talking to me, because I actually have passed whomever you were speaking of. And so I'm going to take all the credit, because this is what I do. And that's that. And I'm going to stop acting like I'm getting ready to sign a rap deal. Okay. So anyway, hello and welcome. And hello, I appreciate your New Year's. I want to know. Let me go back up. I'm missing some stuff. As always, I listened to Upstate. Oh, okay. So Comfy Cozy Up says, oh, I wish I had an Octavia Butler original book cover. Aren't they cool? Aren't they cool? Yeah, I'm not going to get them back down, but they are cool. And I like to look for stuff like that, even if I can't read it, like the James Baldwin collection that I just keep, you know, trying to get more of. They're so old and decrepit, when I turn a page, stuff falls apart. But I want them. They're collector's items. And then I check out the book, or, you know, read a different version of the book. And yeah. So, and let me go back. Loved Living Single. Uh-oh, somebody, oh, y'all talking about TV still. Oh, Fences. I haven't seen it, but I have it on. But I own it and plan to watch it soon. So good, Keisha. It really is. And she says, I haven't seen Queen Sugar. Keisha, go watch it now. Stop watching me. Get out the chat room. No, I'm just joking. Stay. But seriously, it's that good. I am so in love with those characters. Like, it's okay. I could go on, but it's really good, Keisha. You're going to enjoy it. I really want to start Underground first, though. Oh, my God. I have to get caught up with Underground. Underground blew my mind so much that I started it over, and now I'm back up to the part where Journey Smollett is like, that opium got to her, and she's just, there's a scene in there. It's magnificent. The little Smollets are some wonderful. And when Jesse was on there, okay, that's enough. Anyway, I'm sorry. And so I'm going up. Deaf Poetry says Keisha Forsaken. The HBO show, yes, I have all the seasons. I was so sad when they canceled it. I was too, because that was really good. And I'm still scrolling up, so I'm reading things backwards, you guys. I'm glad you guys are talking amongst yourselves, and so I get to pick and choose. No, I'm just joking. It's the scrolling thing. You know, if you go too fast, it just like a Rolodex. Do you guys know what that is? You know that little commercial where the lady asks, what are you watching on your computer or something? The little girl goes, what's a computer? What's a Rolodex? I can just imagine you got young people saying that. So a Rolodex was this thing that sat on old people's desk, and they had to telephone numbers and addresses of business and contacts when they were trying to network and associate with other business like-minded people or customers. And there was actually like a ball, and it rolled, that kind of thing. You may see them on those old time shows. You're welcome, young people. Anyway, I'm just messing with y'all. So it's so serious. I'm so serious though. I kind of like seeing Olivia. Okay, that's where I stopped. Scandal, and that's where we stopped. I stopped, rather. I love this community because when I'm going about my daily life or sitting at work wishing I were at home, this is Venitra. I know so many of us are connected through our love for books and reading. Kumbaya. No, seriously, that is exactly what Booktube feels like. I think that she spoke for everybody right there that loves Booktube. There are some people that do rant videos, and no matter what community on YouTube, whether it's hair, did I say hell? Hair, shoes, or blogs about working out, or kids playing outside very loud at 9:32 at night, all kind of 9:52. My Jesus. So anyway, I'm telling you, it's like springtime out there. It's like perfect. I'd be out there too if I was a kid. If my mom would probably beat me though. But anyway, no, she didn't. I never got a whooping. I ain't gonna lie with my mama like that. I'm sorry. Um, so anyway, that's her picture up there. That's all I was pointing to. But anyway, that's just that, because I'm gonna go off on a tangent and I need to show the rest of the books. But yeah, I feel that way, and there are a lot of communities. Like when you first join a community, you feel that. So keep feeling that. That it should be your happy place. Don't pay attention to their rants, because if you rant so much about BookTube, why don't you just do something different? That's all I'm saying. Because maybe you should just take a break and come back, because you know books are the things that you love. Or some people that are just not happy. It could be something that's in their life that they're not happy with, and so they choose to rant because they've watched one rant after another, and it kind of catches on. It's contagious, just like love and joy is. It's both of them are contagious. Negative behavior and positive behavior, both contagious. You just choose which one you want to be on. And so, I can call out anybody because I'm old, and come at me if you want. Anyway, in all love and honesty. Anyway, hi Stephen Massey. How you doing? Because he knows what I'm talking about. So, and not to say that nobody else does. Gosh, the disclaimers that we have to give ourselves. Anyway, KT says, say it. I have a lot going on right now, and there are many times I don't want to record anything, but I hope to have a video up soon. I'm sure you will. I mean, we can still enjoy your, because I still have to watch all of your Vlogmas. Me too, Vernitra. I do love this community. Um, I'm actually the only Black person who works at my library, which is fine. All of my coworkers are so nice and such genuinely kind people, so it's nice to connect to this community, says Benitra. And on some spectrum, most African Americans have had that experience, being the only Black person at this place or that place or some sort of whatever place. And even if you are an African American that works in an all African American place of business, there are book lovers that maybe congregate, just like if they're whatever, but there may be fewer book lovers, because sometimes book lovers don't really reach out to other people. This is just my experience. Like when I'm reading a book a lot at work, which I do, I take a novel to work every single day. There's one with me every time I go somewhere. So when I'm reading on my break time or I'm reading on my lunchtime, Now people don't say it as much because I've been working there 9 years, but like newer people or people that have never talked to me was like, you're always reading. What is this about? And then you strike up a conversation. Oh, I read this book, or somebody will say, I don't read anything. I just watch TV. If it's a book and it makes a movie, then that's where I'm going to see it. You know, I've had people say that to me. That's not an exaggeration. So sometimes I don't ever strike up conversations about books to anybody at work because I'm busy reading, and they usually come to me, or you know, if I see them reading something, which that happened with me and one other person at this job. And then my supervisor reads a book in a day. She says when she starts it, she has to finish it. So she was actually a member of a book club that I started here in Texas, and she's a poet. She's an avid reader, and I still to this day give her books. I just gave her a bookmark the other day, and she's like, oh, thank you. But you know, and she's one of the people that have bought like 10 pieces of my art or more. And so she's just very into arts, and she's a poet, she's an artist herself. So readers kind of find each other in those little nooks, uh, it's like the kids sitting at the table and everybody else is over here, and you're reading your book and somebody approaches you. They're usually interested in what you're reading or why you're always reading and silent. And I don't know, and then you find people in that light. And usually booktubers are the best hearted people ever. So says all of us. Anyway, so I'm going to go through the rest of the books here, and I think I've gotten somewhat caught up, but you guys are really chatting, and I can't go through all of them, or I'll just be sitting here looking down, and you can see all my dreads that are coming along. Anyway, yeah, if you are wondering on this channel, you go, what happened to her weave? What happened to them braids and the crazy ratchet hair she likes to put in her hair? What happened to her afro that was like getting big? What happened? Why is it shrunk? I purposely shrink my hair to lock it. I wash it 3 times a week to lock it, and my hair locks very fast. This is only day 20 of me doing this, and it's already separated and forming. I got some serious hair, okay? And it'll be locked in 2 to 3 months. And it'll keep going from there. And I'm free-forming, so that's why it's wild. And I have enough guts to do that because I don't care what other people think. Anyway, and then, okay, I said I was going to stop. So let me go ahead and go on and take a look at where we're at. We're at 56 minutes. But who says we're on a schedule? Let me lean back because there's so much light. So much glare. So much light. So much glare. Hi, Cheryl Robinson, if you're watching. Hi, writer. Ah, I love good storytellers. I really do. So if you guys have not got a Cheryl Robinson book, and I'm going to be reading the trilogy this year, so don't forget, if you have not seen the book haul, please, or the book mail when I opened up her book, please, because she gave me some really good treats too. Mm, 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 mm. Random. Okay. So we are here with it. I wasn't going to go here, but let's just go ahead and start here behind me. And let me put back on my glasses so I can actually see, and I hope you can hear me over the basketball playing outside. Because again, it's springtime in Texas. Jazz, Toni Morrison. Did we already do this side? But anyway, we're going to do it. Jazz, Toni Morrison. Oh, I'm showing the monitor, but the camera's right there. There we go. And this is the beloved Toni Morrison. Love her, as always. And I have not read this one, so that's why it's on the shelf. I'm going to put these here, and then I'll put them back. Cannot wait to read this. I've been wanting to read this for so long. And so I got my hands on, obviously, a hardback copy of Gil Scott-Heron. Yeah, The Last Poets. So it's called The Last Holiday, a memoir. And it's beautiful. It's textured. It's Gil Scott-Heron. And praise for Gil Scott and Chuck D, GQ, The Independent, Common. It's like one of my favorites. And Eminem, okay. And The Telegraph, Talib Kweli, one of my favorites. Q-Tip, one of my favorites. The Washington Post and The Telegraph. Okay, whatever. So anyway, beautiful book. I have not read it. Can't wait. I had this from the library checkout when I was doing, I do a video every single day for Black History Month. And so I had checked this out and I read some of it and I put it back down and took it back to the library because I had to own this. And I think it's her niece or somebody that write this book about her, and I really love it. So anyway, don't quote me, but I remember that. That's the only thing I can remember, and it was well written, the parts that I read. And this is On Her Own Ground by Madam C.J. Walker. The Life and Times of Madam C.J. Walker by A. Lelia Bundles. Alelia Bundles. And I will... Audre Lorde, The Outsider. Sister Outsider, The Outsider. I'm thinking Richard Wright. Sister Outsider, Audre Lorde. Essays and Speeches by the Woman. Never read her. Always read quotes. I feel really bad. I'm 52. I should be... It seems like I should have read her like years and years and eons ago. But some of those quotes that you have in your head and you know it's hers. And anyway, this is another independent writer, Marcus Haynes. Hi, Marcus Haynes, if you're still watching. Met him at the National Black Book Festival in Houston, Texas. Since I'm talking about that, and I told you guys I was going to show you guys who's going to be there, why I'm definitely not going to miss it. Okay, number one, I just don't want to miss it anymore. It's just something that should be a staple, and I told her I would, but my health kept coming up. So now, hopefully, I've gotten all that mapped out. So Stephen Barnes is going to be there. Never heard of Stephen Barnes, but he's a writer, obviously. I don't know. Okay, Stephen Barnes, you guys, is going to be there. Tananarive, and that's one of the reasons why I just can't miss it. Stephanie Powell Watts, Pamela Samuels Young, Michelle Stimson, and Tiffany Warren, and also a radio host, G.L. Henderson, and I don't know who else. There's like loads of independent writers all to the side, and you'll see them. There's loads of them, and book clubs that are going to be there. And I think I signed my channel up as a book club, and that's how she usually lists me. And somebody that I cannot wait to see, I just found out about this young man on Instagram. Then I went to his YouTube channel, and I've been watching him play that violin. His name is Daniel D. Gospel jazz violinist Daniel D. And he's going to be at their Power Lunch Entertainment. So I'm going to try to take off every day. And he's going to be there on Saturday, it says. Network Breakfast at 8 a.m. October 27th in October. National Black Books Festival in Houston, Texas. I'm going to be there. I'm not going to miss it. And I want to go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then bring my butt on home to go to work Monday. And I'll have some videos for you guys. So there's loads of stuff going on. Okay, let me get off that page real quick. Let me get off of it and get back to you guys and what I can see there. And so I met him there. Marcus Haynes, The Legend of the Orange Scepter. And Bernice Hill McFadden, one of our favorites, KT's favorite writer. And look at that beautiful picture of Queen NASA. She's thebomb.com. And I love Sugar and This Bitter Earth and several more. And then I got this last year at the the Texas Book Festival. Samantha Irby, We Are Never Meeting in Real Life. And it's supposed to be really, really funny. And there she is. Very cute self. And one of my favorite trilogies of all time. I can't wait to read it this year. This is the last one of, well, the last one so far, Midnight 3, Sister Soldier, A Moment of Silence. And I kind of trepidatious because I don't want to know why we're having a moment of silence, Sister Soldier, because you got me hooked, and I don't want to know, but I need to know. And so bought this book maybe a couple years ago now, and here we go with it. Oh my gosh, I don't want to know, but I got to. And then Raisin in the Sun, and there's a PBS special that's going to be on Lorraine Hansberry real soon. I keep seeing it on Instagram, and I forgot the guy's name, but he doesn't list his own name. It's Be Real Black for Me, I think is his name. Don't quote me. But he keeps putting this up, and it's coming on PBS about her life. So I want to see that. PBS is really good about doing that. This is one of my favorite writers of all time. Richard Wright, Uncle Tom's Children, Octavia Butler, Fledgling. I can't wait to read that. I can't wait. Doesn't that look intriguing? Look at that. Okay. And then April Sinclair, I Left My Back Door Open. We've seen that. And then this is the second book that I own by her. Phyllis R. Dixon, she's an independent writer. I met her in Houston at the National Black Book Festival. And I'm keep saying that because I want, for as many booktubers I can go that live here in Texas. And I don't want, to be accused that somebody has an accident. Just, take precaution. This is Mary Monroe, who I also met. She's not an independent writer. She has loads of books. She was at the National Black Book Festival when I went, and I didn't take any of my books to sign, but I did purchase a book that she had on sale there, and I got a signed copy. And she was funny, but she has loads of stories. Y'all think I'm rambling? That woman can talk, okay? That's why she's got so many books. So God Don't Like Ugly and God Don't Like Ugly Still. And then I can't wait to read this one either. Ernest J. Gaines of Love and Dust. I bought that at the Texas Book Festival. Kalisha Buchanan, beautiful cover right here. Love that. And I'm still reading, checked out the library. It is late. She had to recheck it out for me today. Also by Kalisha Buchanan. I don't own this one. This is the library checkout, like I just said. And it's solemn. And this is good. I started it in the doctor's office. No, I started it before I went to the dentist's office. Then I was reading it, and then I started going my TBR. But I'm going to squeeze this in, and I got 2 more weeks on it. Then, as we all know, the beautiful Gabrielle Union. We're going to need more wine, and I love her. I just do. Letta and Mary Jane. My Angelou, singing and swinging and getting married like what? Like Christmas. My Angelou. And my Angelou, all God's children needs traveling shoes. And hope to get through, because I think I read that one before. And then Blues for Mr. Charlie, which I haven't read by James Baldwin, but I'm going to have to go to the library and check it out. This is one of the collectors I told you guys about, that I will not be reading this, but it's on my list to read, so I'll be checking that out at the library. And then this Ernest J. Gaines, In My Father's House. What a beautiful cover. I love it. It's artsy, fartsy, and April Sinclair. Coffee will make you black as all heck. Yes, it will. Richard Wright, The Long Dream. My favorite male author, other than Langston Hughes. The Learning Tree by Gordon Parks, one of my favorite people, no matter what he did. Photography, writing books, to movies, to his son, who wrote Shaft, I think it was, or one of them Pit movies. But anyway, he's an amazing man. I love his documentary that I watched, and I just love it. I love Gordon Parks and his Kansas man. The one and only Toni Morrison, Paradise. Yes, mama. And A Scholar, Conscious, and Books Are Falling. This is by J. Saunders Redding. It's nonfiction. I can't wait to read it. And then one of my favorite, actually this is my favorite of all time, Alice Walker book, The Temple of My Familiar. Yes, it does have some of the Color Purple characters in it. I want to reread this one. This is worth a reread. I like to reread Toni Morrison and Alice Walker, but I haven't reread an Alice Walker book in a long time. So that is all the books on the shelves, and I'll put those up later because we ain't got time for that. We're an hour and 7 minutes, and we still have this. This is what I got today, you guys. This is audiobooks because I took back A Warmth of Other Suns. I finished Remember Me, and oh, the books that I took out of my bedroom, adding on the shelf, I need to stop because I'm only supposed to be doing 52 books, and I'm sure this is more than 52 books. But anyway, the one and only beautiful Barack Obama, The Audacity of Hope, and he may just come up again in that bag. So this is one I pulled out of my room. I have the other book as well, but the other book I read, and I thought I didn't read all of it, but then I started reading it one day, like last year or so, when I was just like thumbing through it, and like, did I ever finish this? And I think I did, but who knows? I'm going to finish that one this year. So, and I finished this one. Why is this out here? Oh, this was the recommendation for my sister again. This is Sermons. My sister loves spiritual. I love this book. And it was when I read this book, it was my favorite book of the year, I believe. And this is Martin Luther King's Strength to Love, where there's a lot of sermons. And he was basically using his sermons to teach for other preachers. And Coretta and some other preachers wanted it to become a collection to make a book. And he was like, nah, nobody wants that but the students. But obviously they won out, and it's a book. And it's all tore up. This is how tore up it is, you guys. I got notes in there, more notes, and look at it. Let me show y'all. This is really sad. And now it's not going to do it. But yeah, pages are coming out. It's pretty bad. I was reading the heck out this book. It's a sermon after sermon after sermon. It's Martin Luther King. It's beautiful. if you don't know the story in this old channel of mine, I lost my faith one time, and this is the guy. I went to a library and got on the microfiche and started reading some of his homework from Morehouse. They actually had his writings in there, and I read them, and it was inspiring. And I was like, maybe, yeah, okay, I'm back. I'm good now. So anyway, and these are two more that I got off my shelf that I really want to read. This one, Hill Harper, The Wealth Cure. I just love this cover. It's beautiful. And you know, he has several books. And then, I don't know if I can read this, so I don't know who David Robertson is. So I'll look up that. But this is W.C. Handy. I've always been interested in this musician. So, yeah. And it's the life and times of the man who made the blues. And I don't even listen to a lot of blues. There's something about it that the stories, I think that's what it is. The stories that they tell. And, you know, oh my God, I loved her and she stepped on my heart and I wanted to come back and do it all again. But I don't know. I just want to read that and I want to start with him. So those are the few that I bought out. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it of that. And now this, okay, we're going to get to it like right now. If you guys know, there are loads of books out here about my man who passed away at 57. One of my favorite artists of all time, and I still listen to his CDs now. And it's my man, Prince. And I got this one because it's by an African American. It's Torre. He, if you guys remember the MTV days, he's the writer. If you've never heard of him, there's his name right down there. I don't know how to say it. It looks like Torre, like a French name. But Torre is the co-host of MSNBC's The Cycle and columnist for Time.com. And he's the author of 4 books, including Who's Afraid of Post-Blackness, a New York Times and Washington Post notable book, He Lives in the Planet Brooklyn. So that's the one I got. And it's very short, as you guys can see. And so let me put that there. Read do. I had to get it. It's short stories, and because I'm listening to those short stories and enjoying them right now while I'm painting, I thought, man, I could squeeze this in a couple of weeks. And yeah, see how my TBR is changing. Just 2 physical books. That's it. Am I lying? We'll see. Okay, real quick, I got some more audiobooks and Pearl Cleage. Oh, I made a video earlier today. I went on live earlier today. Was happy to get back with Pearl Cleage, right? And I had an audiobook. It was scratching, so I had to take it back. The first CD scratched. I put in the second one thinking, oh, I can catch up with the story if I just go on with the second CD. It started scratching too. I was like, I ain't got time for this. So I took it back and I went straight to the audio section to get a replacement. And I reported it to the library so they won't charge me. And this is the one that was on the shelf. This was the only other Pearl Cleage they had. And it is called Seen It All and Done the Rest. So I can't wait to listen to that. And I also got, and I did look up her while I was at the library because this is a popular book. And I looked her up and she is African American. Stephanie Powell Watts, No One is Coming to Save Us. And I'm sure you have all heard of that. But I am glad that I can read this one for my challenge this year. And then Sidney Poitier. I'm sorry, but it was in the nonfiction section, and I never knew he wrote a book like this. But it says it's I read it, and I'm not going to read it now, but it was captivating. It was different. It's Sidney Poitier, and yeah, Montaro Kane. I don't know. It's kind of mystical, sort of, also inspiring spiritually. I don't know. And then CDs. I know you hear that. I do know you hear that. It's not my car, is it? No, my car is a little more high-pitched. If y'all don't get that core. Anyway, I got the Commodores. Zoom is on here, so I had to get it. Because I don't own my Zoom. I don't know where. Maybe I used to listen to my sister's albums all the time. But I love the Commodores. And it's the gold. It's the one that has everything on it. Zoom, Sweet Love, Fancy Dancer, High on Sunshine, Just to Be Close to You, Brick House. Song Made for Me. If you could see all down here, the junk in the trunk. This was made for me. I'm just joking, but no, I'm not, for real. So anyway, Yeah, Coltrane. Now let's talk about this, Denise. Why did you get this? Because remember, I did not care for the. I checked it out. I don't own this version. This Toni Morrison book. Yeah, God help the child. Didn't care for it. I sped through it. I read it very quickly. I remember going to the library downtown Fort Worth and I checked it out. And then I had the book with me in my purse. I was eating downtown, waiting for a concert that was actually held in the library. It was a jazz band that I had heard of and listened to, I think, once. And then they were going to be live at the library. Our library is huge. It takes over a whole block downtown. And they have this concert area. And it has art and everything. So they set up all the seating. And so I sat there and I finished the book there. And I think I brought it home to finish maybe the last couple of pages or something. I remember the librarian, she goes, "Oh, how is that one?" I said, she goes, "That's the newest one, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "How is it?" And I go, "I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't have any thoughts right now. I kind of think it's publisher pushy." And that was my thoughts. And I really still think to this day that it just wasn't my favorite. And but it says, and the reason why I got it again, because you guys know, like I just told you, there's a journey sometimes with book. If you don't like something, but it's one of your favorite people, and you know that they have a clear, they just do what they do so wonderfully. I am intrigued because Miss Morrison is reading this book. So when it said read by the author, I was like snatching it up. Let me get that. Let me go with this one, because I think hearing it in that beautiful tone of voice that she has, that I'm going to appreciate the things that I did appreciate even more so, and the things that I didn't like, maybe I'll see it better through her eyes than my own, and trying to just be so greedy and read that Toni. I was just so happy to have a new Morrison book. It wasn't even funny. And I haven't even read jazz and the ones I just showed you. But my favorites are my favorites of hers, and I just kind of want to revisit it. But here he is. And why did I get it if I own it? Because again, read by the author. Are you kidding me? Like, for real? I don't know if I'm going to make it to work after I listen to this. So I need to listen to this on a Friday night when I don't have to work the next day on Saturday and on Sunday, because it says read by the author. Barack Obama, The Audacity of Hope. So I'm going to have my book, and I'm going to have my man, my president, sir, and I'm going to be listening. And I don't care what any of you guys say. You know. You all know. You know. That's my president. So anyway, and this here is a CD. I do like to, this is one of my favorite rappers, Common. And this is the one, Black America Again. And then Giant Steps. This is also Coltrane. The very best of 1926 to 1967, the very best of my man John Coltrane. And it's not really a good cover on that one. I think that's it. Nope, got one more. And oh voila, my son has this album, A Love Supreme. There's no cover, but it's A Love Supreme. And I listen to it all the time on YouTube, but I kind of want it louder in the speakers and all that good stuff. And yeah, that's all that was in my bag. And I think we're done here. A bag and a bag and my wallet. I didn't have to spend a dime, son. I'm done. There's the air conditioner. So I hope you guys enjoyed looking at all of the books. I finished it up this Saturday so I wouldn't have to rehash, and just in case Sunday I don't make it on live, but I hope to, because I'm just in the mood. And I'll show hopefully the painting. Maybe I'll sit in there with the painting, because I'm going to be talking about what the current read that I'm finishing up with Gwen Richardson, and hopefully I'll have the ancestors done and maybe talk about those and anything else you guys want to chat about. And let me see what you guys are chatting about now, right before I say goodbye. And there are, how many people still here? 11. Hi, 11 people. Venitra is still here. Terry Beth, I think. And Pretty Brown Eyed Reader says, I have the Audacity of Hope audiobook too. I might have to pull it out. Please do. We're gonna just enjoy ourselves. I just think he's amazing, and all the compassion. You know what I also wanted to say about President Barack Obama, which I've said to my kids several times, and this to me just makes sense, and it's just my theory. With what goes on with race relations in America, and to have the first African American president. Now, this is something. Now, this is just me, and it's the truth though, but it's just me. He had to be the first. It's almost like he had to be the first, and this is the reason why I'm saying that, is because with the way things are in America, even his wife, his African American wife, doesn't have. She basically is what most of us, not all African Americans, but most all African Americans have, is we can trace our roots back and back and back here in America, and come up with the slave records where the name stops, and where we got the slave masters' names, why we are Coopers, why we are Smiths, why we are Watsons and Jacksons and whatever, Hendersons or whatever. And he did not have that. So with America bringing over the slaves from Africa, the first African American man to become president, his father is directly from Africa. He is fulfilling some biblical American prophecy here. That's just my theory. That's just the real. I'm just going to call it real. And something that his wife doesn't even have. And it was important for them just to be there. That is, and it made it even more acceptable to people, because he does have a white American mother who was born in my home state, Kansas. So you've got the Midwestern girl marrying this African man, and their child becomes, I mean, we are who we are here. This America is because of that bonding, and because of that shame, because of that brutalization, because of all of that it was so important. Not that I would have been happy if it would have been Jassy Jack. I would have been happy if it would have been anybody that changed the normal face of a president in the United States. Because it's changed. Because America's grown. It's still a young country. And that's why we still have so many problems. And why people don't recognize that and are still shouting so much, because it's necessary. But I think it's so important that he became the first African American president, because his direct male, which is the head of the household, is right over. Even then, he didn't take care of him the way he should have. Even if he didn't have the presence in his life like he should have, like most and all fathers should have. It was important for that. That to me is just important. I'm sorry. That's how I see it. That's how I believe. I believe something divine. It had to be him first, because this is what happened. This is what happened. This is how we got here. He doesn't have to go back. He's not a Henderson. He's not a Jackson. He's not a Smith. He's not a Cooper. He's not any of that. He's an Obama, directly from the motherland. First African American president. Not the last, but the first. To me, is divine. I like it. Sue me if you don't. Sue me if you don't. Anyway, it's all love. But that's how I feel. I just think it was very important. And that's all my time. And I love y'all. And subscribe to one another's channels. And be happy reading. If you have a TBR, enjoy the TBR. If you are a moody reader, add some things into your TBR. But whatever you do, recognize that you are amongst book lovers. And I enjoy y'all. So that is that. Hi, Musical Toddy! Hi, Musical Toddy! Comfy Cozy Up says, tell it. I missed that one too, Kay. I was reading and saw the notification a whole 2 hours later. So are you guys talking about the live today? 10 people. Hi, 10 people. Gotta go, Denise. Bye, sweetheart. And let me go up. Denise, you have a lot of good books, says KT. Thank you. I just love collecting them, and I did better last year even with buying books. Even though I bought books, I did better than I have been doing. So I think I've collected enough because there's books. There's a bookshelf right there. There's a bookshelf right there. There's a bookshelf right over there. There's a bookshelf in that room. There's a bookshelf in my. You guys seen the books in my room? There's 2 bookshelves in my room. At some point, it needs to stop. And so the independent writers are the focus for this blackout, and obviously the ones are already on my shelf. Deuces, I love you. Okay. Bernie M, I did not enjoy the audiobook either. God help the child. Toni Morrison's books lose me. I know some of them do, but read Song of Solomon if you haven't. It's just really good. Read Beloved. I'm so obsessed with it. I just don't know why, but it's just hauntingly good. I've talked about that book so much, and it was my '1 last year, even though I had reread it. So she's awesome. My president says, Terry Beth, yes ma'am. She says, she's got a sad face. I'm sorry. Laugh out loud, Denise. I mean, Barack Obama only has the sexiest voice ever, and a whole bunch of stuff going on for him there. It's just, he just makes me giddy because he's so. I think that there's a kind presence, and there's also a very stern Barack Obama, obviously, and yeah. And I read on when I was at work on my lunch break, MSN had Barack Obama enters politics again or something. I was like, oh, but he can't be the president again. But anyway, but whatever he's doing, I mean, he's still so active. He's an active citizen, and even an active, respectful citizen, even to the president who sits there, because you know they can't be doing certain things politically in the first amount of such and such days or years. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but. And he respectfully did what he's just a citizen. He knows the law of the land, and not everybody, no one's perfect. Barack Obama is not even perfect. There was wars when he was. I mean, that just is a constant war going on every time there's an American president, and so they have to make decisions, and the decisions that they make are, you know, what we need to change is how long Warren, what's his name, Hatch, removing his invisible glasses. Girl, okay, bye. Anyway, I've read the Constitution of the United States, and for the President of the United States to only have 4 years or 8 years at most, I'm glad that it is now, but something needs to be done about how long you can be seated as senator, possibly maybe, or you know, Congress. And something needs to change there. Something needs to change. So anyway. With all that said, I'm out. Thanks, Johnny. Bye, guys. I see you guys are drifting off, and so am I. It's way long of a video. 1 hour and 27 minutes. And we're done here. So thanks for being here. And, oh, I need this to actually see to turn you off. I didn't need to turn you off. Bye, guys. Gotta go. Gotta go. I know. I'm so sorry. Thank you guys. Everyone. Copy and pasting so that it can go on to the recording. And we are out.